this just is not going to work because it's just going to keep on growing and I'm going to end up with like Rapunzel tresses hanging off of my arms. There's a spider under your arm. You've got a bunny rabbit under your arm. Hi guys, it's Lana here, and today we are going to talk about laser hair removal. I'm a hairy girl, and I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you're also a hairy girl. There's nothing wrong with it, but I decided to opt for laser hair removal. It was completely my own decision, no one forced me into it. I am a grown-up person, so I can make this decision, and so can you as long as you are over 18. Earliest I can remember being hairy was probably when I was about 9. Honestly, I don't remember being hairy before that, and I don't know whether it's something to do with me becoming a vegetarian. I lost a lot of weight. I know that when you do lose a huge amount of weight, your body does often start to produce more hair. But anyway, I was hairy. People used to tease me about it. My sister was the worst offender. Even in the heat of summer in school when it was boiling hot and everyone was sitting there suffocating, like trying to take as many layers off as possible, and I kept my blazer on that whole summer because I didn't want anyone to see my hairy arms. I usually shave my arms, but I didn't, so you can see my little hairs popping up. I've always wanted laser as soon as I heard that this was a thing, and it was just a case of waiting first of all until I turned 18, and then when I was 18 I was a student, I didn't have any money, so now I'm in a position where I can actually get laser hair removal. So I want to talk to you guys about it because I've had loads of questions on Instagram about it, so let's get into that. Make sure that you thumbs up this video if you found it helpful at all. You won't know yet because you haven't watched it yet, but I know some of you guys, you trust me, you trust I'm gonna make a good video, so if you trust me, thumbs it up. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into it. I have like a whole list because I don't want to miss anything out. I want to make sure that I give you guys everything you need to know. So if you see me looking down, I apologize, but I don't have much time. It's going to get noisy in here soon and I need to just like talk about everything. The clinic that I go to for my laser is Pulse Light Clinic. It's a London based clinic. They have got 3 locations, which is what made it so easy for me to go because they have one right by me. So they have one at Fenchurch Street and one just down the road at Bank, and they also have one in Tottenham Court Road as well. All central London, and they don't only do laser hair removal. I did look at fat freezing. They told me that I can't do it because I don't have enough fat. Like I wanted to get like my chinny chin done, and they said no. So I liked that about them because they're not just going to give you treatments that they don't think you need. And also they had really good reviews. They've got a 5-star rating, so I decided to go with them. So at first I couldn't decide what areas I wanted. I remember I said this to my friend years ago. I said, if I ever got laser, I don't know what I'd get, and she looked at me like I was crazy. She was like, obviously your perm. And I was like, well, you're saying that as somebody with like a normal amount of body hair, you know, but because I had shaved it, it meant that when it did grow, it never stopped growing. So it wasn't just like it just got to a normal length and then stopped growing. It would just keep on growing. And that's like one point I had hairs on my arm that were like this long, and I was like, this just is not going to work because it's just going to keep on growing and I'm going to end up with like Rapunzel tresses hanging off of my arms. And I kind of regret that I ever shaved my arms because the first time I did it I was about 10. Because of that, I think that my hair did start to grow at an increased rate, and now I always have to shave. So when I was deciding what areas that I actually wanted to get laser on, it was a bit of a decision for me. When I walked in, their first suggestion was to do bikini and underarm because I think that's the most popular thing that people go for, because obviously usually the hair on your underarm and your hair on your bikini area is going to be thicker. So that's what I started off with, and they actually have a whole bunch of packages on their website so you can decide what you want to get done. I think the most inexpensive package is something like bikini, underarms, upper lip, sideburns. They have a package for hands and feet. They have a package for full body, you know, so you can mix and match all these packages. So I started off with bikini and underarm, then I added navel because it just made sense. I mean, I was sitting there getting my bikini done anyway, so she said, do you want me to do your navel? I said yes, and then we like formally added it to my package. You can also get the back of your bikini done, so your bum. I want to talk more about my reasons for doing it and just see if you guys can relate. Like, do you feel the same? Because I know I'm going to get a whole bunch of questions like, why would you do this to yourself? So my first reasons for choosing bikini initially over my arms is because when I shave my arms, the hair is not like really coarse, so I don't get ingrown hairs and it stays smooth. So that's not such a problem for me. Unlike other areas like the bikini where the hair is thicker, so when you shave it, like sometimes it can be difficult to shave. You can maybe end up with razor burn. You can get ingrown hairs. Like I used to get ingrown hairs all the time. I've even got like scars from like ingrown hairs that are like formed into a pimple, and then you have like a pimple scar, like whatever. And the second reason is because I like to go on holiday, I like to wear a bikini, and I just didn't like the look of the shadow that it left after you've shaved from the hairs that were left under the skin. I don't like waxing because wax is painful. The last reason why I got bikini was because we're all grown-ups here, so I can talk about this with you guys. If you maybe spent a romantic evening with your significant other, everything was smooth sailing, as they say, and then you get to the morning, and if you're anything like me, you got stubble, and that, I don't know, it's just not cute. I don't want it. It ruins like the little illusion. I wanted to trick you into thinking that I was a dolphin. Oh, and the other reason why I wanted to get my bikini done is because I will always shave. Even if I didn't get laser, I would always shave because I just feel like it's cleaner. I feel like I want to shave because for hygiene reasons. Even if like no man was ever gonna see it, if nobody was ever gonna see it, if I was never gonna wear a bikini, I would still shave. That's why I did bikini. Thank you. Next. So let me know if you guys can relate to that. Do you shave down there? Do you not? What are your reasons for shaving down there? So all of those reasons also apply to underarms. So I want to talk about the prices. So I always had in my head that laser was going to be like crazy prices, but at the moment at Pulse Light Clinic, they actually have a 60% off promotion. I think that's what it's doing. So you can get a pack of 8 treatments, and the prices range from about £210 for depending on what areas you do to £800. So obviously the one at the higher end of the scale is going to be like full body or full legs, full back, you know, and at the lower end of the scale, so say bikini and underarm, is going to cost you £210 for 8 sessions. That's the prices at Pulse Light Clinic. I don't know about the prices at other places, but obviously this is a 60% off promotion, so other places are going to be more expensive than that if they don't have the same promotion. So when you look at the prices, you'll see that there is an option for a single treatment or 6 treatments or 8 treatments. So I don't see the point in having a single treatment because that's not really going to do anything. If you want the fullest effect, then you're going to want to get 8 treatments. I honestly think if you're just going to get a single treatment, unless maybe you're trying to top up or something, but if you just get a single treatment, to me it's just a waste of money. And I will explain why you need 8 sessions in the next section of the video. So let's talk about how laser works, because I know some of you guys are not going to know this. Laser targets the melanin in the hair. So it will target the hair follicle and it will target the melanin that's there, because usually hair is darker than the skin around it. So it meant that years ago, people with darker skin could not get laser because the laser couldn't tell the difference between the melanin in the hair and the melanin in the skin, which meant that it would have attacked all of the skin and you would destroy the melanin in that area and you would end up with like little white patches wherever the laser had hit. That was a no-go. It wasn't possible, but new technology has come in now. If you do have dark skin, make sure that you go to a clinic that has a Gentle Max Pro laser, because that's the laser that they can use on dark skin. If they are just going to use like the old bog standard laser, then run. But Pulse Light Clinic will take perfectly good care of you dark skin ladies. The laser will be safe. The laser is attacking the hair, which means they ask you to not wax and to not pluck the hair, because there needs to be some hair under the surface for the laser to actually target. So if you wax or if you pluck, then the hair's gone and the laser can't target it, which means the follicle is not going to be destroyed, which means there's not going to be much effectiveness. So they ask you to only shave, and then that way the hair is still there under the surface and the laser can target it and the laser can destroy the follicle, which is what makes it a permanent hair reduction. But now we come to the reason why you need to have 8 sessions, and it's because, as I explained in a previous video like a year ago, your hair has a life cycle, 3 stages. I have to refer to my notes for this. The life stages are anagen, catagen, and telogen. Every single hair follicle in the area that you're targeting is going to be at a different stage in its life cycle, and the laser needs to reach it at a certain stage for it to be most effective, which means if you go sort of every 6 weeks, then you should end up eventually getting every single hair or most of the hairs in the area. So I do need to let you know some safety that's involved in laser. So they ask you not to go tanning, because if you go tanning, 1, it can sort of damage your skin, and 2, it means they may not be entirely sure about what setting to put their laser on. They also say it's not good if you've got sunburn, because the laser obviously is very harsh. So if you've got sunburn, then the laser could really have an adverse effect. Don't take any antibiotics. Like, obviously take your antibiotics if you need them, but you need to let the staff know, because some antibiotics can make you really sensitive to UV light, which means that the laser could end up burning you. So now let's talk about when you actually go in to the clinic. So I go to the Fenchurch Street Clinic. You guys might know the Walkie Talkie building in London. It's at 20 Fenchurch Street. So the Pulse Light Clinic Fenchurch Street branch is right opposite the Walkie Talkie building. You just press the buzzer, they let you in, you go in. The receptionists are all really friendly. You'll probably need to take a seat while they make everything ready for you, and then you go in. They'll ask you a few questions. You'll have a form to sign in on your very first day. You'll have a form to sign in just to make sure you're not on antibiotics, make sure your skin is in a good condition and everything. And then once you've done that, on every session that you go back, they'll just do a little refresher, just make sure that nothing's changed, and then they'll leave you to get changed. So you'll have to like take off your clothes. My first time that I went, I had bikini. Just being me, I didn't even take my pants off. So I took my trousers off and I left my like underwear on. She didn't say anything. She was just sort of trying to do around it. And then she like moved it down. She's like doing it like with the laser. And then she was like, do you want me to do lower? And I was like, okay. Whereas now every time I go, I just strip off. Already the laser. Like, she's seen everything. She's seen parts of me that no one else has seen. Like, I'm not kidding. She's seen it all, and she's seen it under the glare of a big fat light. Keep that in mind. If you guys don't like being naked in front of other people, then you're not going to get the most effective treatment, because if you really do want to go in for a bikini, she's really going to go in and she's going to do it all. You also have to make sure that you are wearing goggles. If they don't put goggles on you, then make sure you remember to put the goggles on. Remind them you need goggles. Pulse Light Clinic has never forgotten. That laser could really do a mischief to your eyes, which you don't want. So you're there, you're lying down. Let me just say, it does hurt. It's not a painless thing. They can't numb the area. I mean, they probably could numb the area, but I've never had the area numbed. Probably mark it out with a pen, or like, it seems like a white eyeliner pencil. And then they go ahead and they start using the laser. And the laser is not like a big beam or anything. It's just a small laser. It's like this big. It's like attached to a big machine. And they'll come along, and I guess the area they can target at a time is probably only like this big. So they'll go along and they'll be like beep, 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 like all over your skin. It's not just pff, it's, you have to go along and do it. And it hurts. So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's going to be about 5. Because the pain of it, everybody says it feels like an elastic band being flicked against your skin. The pain of it, I think they have to like turn the laser onto a higher setting after every session to make sure that they target the deeper hairs or the finer hairs. I think if they just did it one time, if they even did it 5 times, 10 times, it would be fine. It's when they're on 20, 30, 40, then it starts to hurt, it starts to feel hot. They can blow some cool air on it. And for some reason, I'm not sure why, like maybe if it just hits like a particularly thick hair or something, some of them are just more painful than others. Like, you definitely feel like oof, 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 oof. I always listen to music when I'm having it done. I just blare the music in my ears, grit my teeth, and try and think about something else. But I know some people like to have a conversation with the person doing it. So let's talk about the immediate effects of the treatment. Every other time that I've had it done, so my first 3 times that I had it done, it was completely smooth afterwards. The pain pretty much stopped as soon as it was done. As soon as the last laser is, you know, bing, there's no lasting pain after that usually. They will spread aloe vera over it and just, you know, cool it down. They say you should treat it as if it's sunburned, so you shouldn't immediately go tan it. You shouldn't try to exfoliate it. Don't wear makeup, don't wear deodorant on the area. So the last time that I had it done was my 4th time, and I thought it was going to be the same again. I was just like, it's going to be smooth, you know, or maybe I never noticed before, but this time I was putting my clothes back on and I looked down and I noticed that my whole pelvic area was so bumpy. It looked like the surface of Mars. It looked like battered haddock. It looked like a nice and spicy knick-knack. So obviously I was freaking out a little bit. I was like, this has never happened before. What the heck has happened to me? So I googled it and they said it's completely normal. They said just apply aloe vera as normal and it will just go down. So actually by the end of that day, I think it all gone down. It was all back to normal. No redness, no soreness. Actually, I think it did stay sore for a little bit. So let's talk about the results that I actually had in terms of the hair removal. So after my very first session, I did notice a massive reduction in my hair. Ever since my first session, my hair has been so much finer. It seems to grow slower and there's just less hair. It's not like how it was anymore. It's not like pubic hair anymore. It's more just like the hair on the rest of my body. The first time that I had it done, I remember looking at my underarms after about a week or 2 weeks and just thinking, wow, I have not shaved my underarms in the longest time, and I didn't even notice. Like I didn't even realize I hadn't shaved, and I had to look really closely, and then I was like, there's hair there. Hair has been growing back and I didn't even notice. It's so fine, you can't even notice it. Now I'm after the 4th session, and what you will notice is because the laser is literally destroying the hair follicle, it will take a little while for the hair to actually get pushed out, and then it will fall out. Pinch it and it will just come out in your fingers. So I want to show you this side. So this side has been shaved, this side has not been shaved. I don't know how long it's been since I shaved it, but it's been a long time. It's been like 2-3 weeks since I shaved my underarms. I don't even know, it could be even longer than that, because you know it's winter and I don't shave my arms very much. Like there is still hair there, but it's because I'm only halfway through my whole laser hair removal treatments. So I'm on 4 out of 8. I'm halfway through, and if you guys had seen my hair when I first started, if I had gone 2 or 3 weeks without shaving, this would be rivaling the hair on my head right now. Like this would be long, this would be thick. So in terms of the reasons why I got the hair removal on my bikini, ingrown hairs, nada, non-existent. I never see an ingrown hair down there. I've not seen one ever since I started my treatment. Number 2, the hair is not thick, it's fine. Even though there is hair like this, it means that when I do shave, the hair doesn't catch on the razor. There's no stubble, it's smooth. Wake up the next morning, it's still smooth. And even when there is hair there, it's like if you were to just touch it, if you would just like run your hands over it, you wouldn't know straight away that there's even hair there. Like you'd have to look at it and you'd be like, okay, there is hair there, but it's so smooth and it's so fine that you literally can't even feel it. Okay, so now I have some questions from you guys. So I had a lot of questions about the pain. So Blue Desert Part 2 says, does it hurt? Queen Shad 7 says, does it hurt a lot? Bat Maguda says, does it hurt? Juliana says, does it hurt? So the answer is yes, it does hurt. So actually Inas234 said, did it hurt more than waxing? I would say yes, just because waxing is so fast. So waxing is painful, but it happens so fast and they can get so much of an area all in one go. It's just a shorter period of pain. But like waxing will like make your eyes water and it will be painful, but just for a split second, and then it's just a bit like, oh. Laser is a bit like waxing each individual hair. So it is more painful than waxing, but I just feel like the effect is better than waxing because it is going to last for so much longer. Blue Desert also says, what made you think about doing this? Is all my own personal choice. And I know that my choices have been affected by the society that we live in, but either way, I would do this regardless. Especially when it comes to my bikini, my underarms, I would shave them anyway. So In Love with Paris says, is it for all types and colours of skin? So the answer is yes. It didn't used to be because the lasers were not advanced enough, but I think probably in the last 5 years or so, they introduced new lasers with better technology. Lady Spoke also said, how long does it take to see improvement? And the answer to that is immediately. It won't be completely done, but it will be improvement. Apathetic Babes says, if you have dark underarms, will it make it darker? I don't think so, because actually it's destroying melanin, so I wouldn't have thought that it would create anything darker. Do you really have blackheads instead of each hair after a while? Not in my experience, no. Curly Cookie says, how long have you been doing it and do you see any results? So I've been doing it for 4 sessions, 6 weeks apart. So I've been doing it for 24 weeks. And I have seen very, very good results. So Fat Maguda says, will the hair grow again or is it permanent? So what they say is it's permanent hair reduction because lots of the follicles will be completely destroyed. And any follicles that remain, the hairs will be a lot finer. They will be growing a lot slower. So I think in that sense, it's pretty much permanent. Next question is, can they do the belly and back area as well, or is it too sensitive? It's really just down to your own personal pain threshold. Belly, when she's doing my belly and my navel, is absolutely fine. That feels like a little bit of respite. How much did it cost and was it as painful as waxing or worse? So the prices are listed on Pulse Light Clinic's website. They are doing a 60% off promotion. I have a discount code for you guys with Pulse. I spoke to the team after my last session and they were kind enough to give me a discount code so that you guys can pop in and get your treatments at a discounted rate, but you guys can definitely check out this discount code and see if you make any more savings with that. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope that you guys have learned a little bit more about laser hair removal and that you know what to expect when you go in. I highly recommend Pulse, but what I will say is that if you are going to do it, just make sure that you are sure of your own reasons for doing it and that no one is pressuring you into doing it. Also be very honest. If you are on antibiotics, don't lie to them, don't cheat the form, because you could end up doing yourself a mischief. And that's everything from me. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to thumbs it up if you liked it. And yeah, it's just a little bit different on my channel today because usually we're talking about how to get longer hair, how to get thicker hair, and in this video we're talking about how to get rid of hair. So it has been a little bit different, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful anyway, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks again so much for watching. Bye. Bye bye bye. Bye bye bye.
Summertime. Ooh. Yeah.